It's Taco Tuesday. What's good? How are my people doing out there? How y'all doing? It's the real E-Leezy. You know what I'm saying? Brought to you by the real E-Leezy. What's good? I hope everybody have a good start to their week. And let's dive right on into this Warrior game. Excuse me. Let's dive right on into the Warrior game. It's been tough, you guys. It's tough sometimes when you watch the Warriors because you look at the Warriors, and I know just based off of the Warriors' veterans and the talent, they get by and they win games. Like, you know what I'm saying? And salute to the Clippers and their coaching staff and their players. They executed their game plan, which is to be physical with us and force us into rushing what we want to do and putting us in uncomfortable situations with the ball, and just playing harder than we did at certain times of the game. So, um, yeah, it wasn't a really pleasant thing to watch. And then you got to look at the Warriors are coming off the set. The Warriors are coming off a 2 days rest, excuse me, and the Clippers are coming off a second night of a back-to-back. But both of those games were at home. But last time they came from Denver in a high altitude, in the mountains, and then came into the Chase Center and pretty much dominated that game. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought Zubac had his way in the interior. That wasn't so much the case in this game. But still, it's just like these are the type of games where when you want to talk about playoffs and positioning and getting down in a later part of the season, these are the games that's supposed to shape you if you're trying to accomplish, your ultimate goal of winning another championship. Like, these are those type of playoff games, like, to where you can't have turnovers and mental lapses, and missed free throws, and you can't come out lethargic and think you're gonna, oh, okay, yeah, we're gonna get some retribution from the last game, and they're on a back to back, so they're probably gonna be tired, so they're not gonna do things the way they're supposed to do them. That's called coaching. It's a lack of preparation, in my opinion, from me watching the game last night. We just wasn't prepared to play a game, especially early on in that first half. And I thought that sometimes, we looked out of sorts. The attention to detail really wasn't there. It's like you should know all of these players' tendencies. You know what James Harden wants to do. You know what Norman Powell wants to do. Make Norman Powell a player who has to put the ball on the floor. Norman Powell is one of the best catch and shoot 3-point shooters in the league. And that's who he's been most of his career. So if you have an attention to detail, you're not going to leave him. Force James Harden to get into his mid-range and shoot shots he's uncomfortable with shooting. There's no reason why we should be ball watching, leaving guys wide open on the weak side. There's no reason why Nicholas Batum should be just sitting out there wide open. There's no reason why Amir Coffey should be just sitting out there wide open. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know that Nicholas Batum can only do one thing, and that is make spot up 3-point shots. So why would you allow him to be wide open? I'm just forcing anybody in that paint. You have to force them to finish over a contest and just live with the results. Those are 50-50. It's nobody that's 100%. Just shooting floaters and different type of shots around the basket, especially if that's something that they're not already used to doing. It's just a terrible attention to detail. The coaching for me, I'm like, when you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a mentor. Like, so the player should be an extension of the coaching, because the coaches, obviously, a lot of the coaches are former players who've been there, who played in the league for X amount of years, won championships with different organizations, have seen it all when it comes to situational basketball. So there's no excuse why your team is not prepared to play. There's no excuse why your team is turning the ball over. Because guess what? You're allowing them to play the way they play with too much freedom. As sometimes, and I'm not saying put players in a box, but you got to put certain players in a box. Certain players just shouldn't do things that they're not capable of doing. If I know that I have a player that's not particularly strong as a ball handler, I'm not going to let him handle the ball primarily. If I know another player is really not good at, you know, um, shooting threes, I'm not going to let him just shoot threes. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to build good habits. And for the Warriors, they have a lot of bad habits. Like, they have a lot of bad habits. And it's to the point to where it's just like, dude, like, sometimes it'd be unwatchable because why are you making these plays? It's like these plays are just like nonchalant plays. But why? Like, why are you making these plays, bro? Every game, every game can be decided by one possession. Do you know what that means? That means that we have to value the basketball and at least give ourselves a chance, because some nights you're going to be off if your shot's not falling. But you can't help the other team by squandering and wasting possessions. We did a good job of getting to the free throw line in somebody else's building 19 times, but you only come away with 9 points. That's not going to get it. That's just not going to cut it. So we have to really, really go back and watch film and be like, man, and we got to start practicing. I don't know if we're practicing. I don't know if these teams in the NBA actually practice. It's probably only a certain amount of teams that actually go through practices, like full-fledged practices, and watch film on other teams and be like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, what part of sports or what, like, it's crazy times right now. We're living in crazy times, and it's like the sports world, it's a spectacle, but I don't know if it's the sports are being played with the intent that they're meant for. Let me explain what I mean. It's like when you play in a sport, like if you're doing something recreational, or if you're playing for a team, because we all grew up playing some sort of sport, right? Our primary goal was to do whatever you needed to do to win the game, right? That's called competing. It seems now it's just like, oh, this is a certain player. Oh, we're going to let him get his numbers tonight. Oh, this is a certain player. We just going to let him, just let him do what he needs to do. And then we'll try to shut down everybody else. I just don't understand where the level of competition is. Like back in the day, teams came in prepared with the game plan because they practice. You know what I'm saying? They actually practice. Now it's like these players get paid so much money and the game is so big globally, it's like practice. So it's kind of like they're taking on, the whole Allen Iverson, you feel me? The whole Allen Iverson motto. Practice. Not the game that I come out here and dive on the floor, but practice? So now y'all ridiculed Allen Iverson for not practicing back in the day, but you wouldn't be able to tell that he didn't practice from the way that he approached the game each and every night. See, some players just have it in them to where their competitive nature is not going to let them show up and not show out. Like, you know what I'm saying? But now, these players have so much free range, it's just like, practice on. We just go through a light little walk around, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's, I guess, to preserve injuries. But if you look around the league, we have the most injuries in the damn history of the game. And motherfuckers don't practice right now. So it's like, what are we doing, man? And then in the post-game presser, your coach comes on and said, as a coach, you're not too concerned about free throws. It's like, I've never heard a coach say anything like that. Like, Like, really? You're not too concerned about a part of the game that can cost you a championship or a game or mini games? You are dead last in the league. So, meaning when you get to the free throw line, you make less than half of your shots at the free throw line. That's pretty bad for a team who plays fast the way they play, who shoots the ball the way they shoot. And that's because the players don't practice. They don't work on their craft. See, and this is the crazy part. How are you going to say, and this is why I always like to listen to the post-game, pre-game pressers, because this is where you learn about the basketball IQ and the acumen of certain players and coaches. In one facet, you say you're not concerned about free throw shooting, right? For free throw shooting. And then in another facet, you say, oh, the players need to get in the gym and work on their free throws. Which one is it? Which one is it? The players need to work on their free throws, or, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I'll be like, man, people need to really explain this stuff to me, because what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you lose the game at the free throw line. The Warriors were 9 for 19 at the free throw line. You missed 10 free throws, dude. You lost by 3. And that's even with all of the turnovers. Because sometimes you're going to make a lot of free throws but have a lot of turnovers, and you can lose the game with a lot of turnovers. But your free throws allowed you to stay in the ball game. But if you hadn't turned the ball over the way you turned the ball over, you probably would have won the game by double digits. And then you have it to where you don't turn the ball over and you miss hella free throws. So, and you end up losing by 4 or 5 points. So, and then you have a game to where you turn the ball over and you miss free throws. That's a poorly coached team, in my opinion. That's a poorly coached team. You can't turn the ball over and miss your free throws when you're getting opportunities. That doesn't make any sense. And then certain players, you have to be able to coach situational basketball. See, a lot of coaches love coaching when it's a blowout and everything is going good, and you're like, yeah, everything that I said is working. Yeah. No, that's not the way sports go, because guess what? You have another coach on another team who's actually out here game planning, you know what I'm saying, to shut whatever you like to run down. And that's what you're seeing. They shut what the Warriors like to run down. And it came back to, bite them in the ass because they were nonchalant with the basketball. You give your players too much freedom, and you play players too much. You have to have a solid rotation. I know it's still early in the season and you're trying to figure out stuff, but guess what? These games creep up on you pretty fast, and before you know it, we at the All-Star break, and then before you know it, it's playoff time. So you're trying to experiment as a coach, and it's just like, you shouldn't be experimenting. You should know what you got. You see these players in workouts. If you're a scout and you watch Lindy Waters III in college at Oklahoma State, and then you watched him at Oklahoma City, then you would know what type of player Lindy Waters is. You would know the type of things that he can do. It's not like a trial and everything, and that's why you have to pay attention to basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I know these players and these coaches, they have other things going on outside of just, focusing on basketball, but, I mean, that's your job. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Your job is to really focus on basketball. Let's just be honest. You're getting paid trillions of dollars to focus on basketball. I mean, so how wouldn't you not know? Like, I focus on basketball too, but I also got things going on in my personal life. You know what I'm saying? A husband, a father, you know what I'm saying? An uncle, a brother, a son. So, full-time job. If I can focus on these things and my time is very limited and I'm not even in that arena, what's your excuse? You see what I'm saying? It's not adding up to me. And somebody needs to help me understand it. Because it's a lot of people that's deserving to be on these teams and help people out and all this stuff. Like, there's internships that should be given. Come on, man, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? If you have a player in Jonathan Kuminga, why would you hold him back? Okay, I don't want to pay him, but maybe I can get him for less money. Why would you hold him back? Allow that man to be a max player. Allow that man to get the minutes. Allow that man to make the mistakes. Show trust in him. Allow him to get better. You know what I'm saying? Show your confidence in the guy. And if, guess what? And if you don't want to do that, just go ahead and get him somewhere else to where he can flourish, bro. Why would you limit? Why would you limit one of the best players on your team? That makes no sense to me. And that's what I be talking about as far as player development. We don't really develop anybody. If you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Let me reiterate that. How you don't know how to develop talent? Where's the scouts? Where's the player development team at? Personnel. If you know Jonathan Kuminga isn't really strong with his handle, let's work on that. Let's get you game situation, going through traffic, game situational workouts. Not just workouts where somebody playing dummy defense, but a workout to what you're going to see in a basketball game. Let's try to emulate that so he can become more comfortable with dribbling in traffic and being a little bit more patient. You know what I'm saying? And let the game slow down. I know it seems like everything be going a lot real fast with Jonathan Kuminga, but Jonathan Kuminga does some really great things. For him to only exude and play 19 minutes last night, that's bad. Jonathan Kuminga is one of your best players, more athletic players. Like, so, and the pressure that he puts on the rim and his ability to play within the mid-range and post up, it's just like, what are we doing? And we're not getting him the ball in the spots that he likes to get the ball. Remember last year when Jonathan Kuminga had that stretch where he just scored like 7, 8 straight 20-point games? He found himself at the rim a lot of those times. Weak side cuts, slashing to the basket, back door, you know what I'm saying, duck ins, alley-oops. You feel me? In the mid-range, in the post. But you're limiting his game by forcing him to play within a system that's not conducive to his type of game. And that's why I say that system, it's not really a system because everybody has the same system. You see a lot of people, back in the day, you didn't see a lot of people run triangle offense. That was Phil Jackson and Tex Winters. That was their system. You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand the options that you had out of the triangle. So if you have a player like Kuminga who's capable of playing in the mid-post, why wouldn't you resort to a triangle offense? Why wouldn't you resort to, let's just throw the ball down and just play regular basketball? Let's just throw the ball into the post. Salute, legend. What's good with it? Hit them with that like. Hit them likes up. Hey, why don't you just say, you know what? I'm going to be like the Boston Celtics. I'm going to just play basketball. The Boston Celtics don't necessarily run plays. It's just a motion style offense. They're just playing basketball because that's what the NBA has resorted to. Just playing basketball. There aren't a lot of plays ran in the NBA. You just give the ball to certain players that have the capabilities, you know what I'm saying, to go get them a bucket. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you play off of that. There's certain reads that you get playing off of one of your best players. If he can get downhill, then they run the screen and roll, and then they get the mismatch. Everything is about pick and roll and getting the mismatch or the matchup that you would like. Because you feel like you can take this guy. He's a weaker defender, slower feet. You know what I'm saying? Reaches a lot. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't play angles really, really well. So you're going to seek out that matchup. And then everything else is just like, okay, well, I got 4 or 5 guys that has a matchup pretty much every time down the floor. So what happens? Think about it. What happens? Let's just be honest with yourself. That's what happens. So, you feel me? When you got a team like that, you have to give them the free reign to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? With the basketball. So, Jonathan Kuminga is one of those guys. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Podziemski. It seems like he's regressing a little bit. Ever since Steve Kerr, ever since he came out and said that the team wanted him to shoot 8 threes a game, it's been all bad. You know what I'm saying? Since then. So I don't really know, why I expected him to make 8 threes a game when he's pretty much like a set shooter. It's just like, dude, let Brandon Podziemski get downhill. Like, why are you putting Brandon Podziemski? Why are you forcing him to shoot threes, bro? Brandon Podziemski can do a lot more than shoot threes. He didn't just shoot threes when he was at Santa Clara. So why are you going to say, oh, we only want you to shoot threes? No, Brandon Podziemski has a pretty good footwork. He can shoot those floaters and get those layups in the lane. He can create. I don't want Brandon Podziemski just shooting hella threes. Like, come on, man. It just we're not making no sense. And it all goes back to coaching for me. So we're gonna have to try to figure this part out. Like, real talk. We gotta figure it out. And it seems to have been an accident, which is messing up traffic right now. So it's just like, what are we doing, dude? Come on. Come on, can I get over? Come on, bro. Damn. Dodo brains. Holding up traffic, man. Dumb, bro. Yeah, but salute to my people, man. Big Meech, what's good with you, man? I see you. Top of the morning. Yeah, but I mean, just from that standpoint, I don't want my coach coming out saying that free throws, as a coach, you don't worry about free throws. Like, you're a professional coach, bro. So you mean to tell me that's going to go down to all levels and all coaches are going to be like, oh yeah, Steve Kerr said don't worry about free throws. So I'm going to tell my guys, as long as we don't turn the ball over, don't worry about making your free throws. That's not the reason why you can lose a basketball game. That's absurd to me. I'm worrying about every part of the game. Rebounding, deflections, charges, missed assignments, missed closing out on the wrong hand. There are a bunch of times where we allowed the left-hand player to get to his strong hand. Why would you allow James Harden, Amir Coffey, Kevin Porter Jr. to get to their left, Derrick Jones Jr. to get to their strong hand, which is their left hand? Force them to their off hand. Make them uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that doesn't even make sense. Why would you close out on somebody not under control? Why would you be in a situation to where somebody is wide open anyway? You do a hard hedge or you stunt, and then you're still within arm's length or closeout distance to where you can make, a textbook closeout. But for you to just be sitting there ball watching, it's no reason why you should sit there ball watching. We gave up about like 20-something points on that. And they scored about 30-something points off of our live ball turnovers, just throwing the ball away. It's just like, what are we doing, man? So we have to be better. See, people, and I always like to, look at the glasses, half full. But now that I'm, going back over this early part of the season, the Warriors really haven't played anybody. And the teams that they did play, they were injured. Like the good teams. Boston was injured. You beat Boston. You beat New Orleans twice. You beat Portland. You beat Washington. Yeah, you beat Memphis, but no Ja Morant. Let's just be honest. You beat Boston, no Jaylen Brown. You beat Dallas, no PJ Washington. Let's just be honest. You're beating teams that's injured, so I can't really put you. And then you lost to the Clippers twice. You lost to the Clippers twice with no Kawhi. And then you're getting manhandled by Cleveland. But Cleveland's undefeated, but still, another playoff team. So if you're trying to measure yourself where you stand amongst the league's elites, you got to ask yourself, how good are you really? Because you keep saying that, oh yeah, the free throws, we were 10-2 with the free throw, with being the worst team in the league in the free throws. You gotta look at the quality of wins that you have, though, homie. You beat Memphis at home. You beat Dallas at home. See, when you go on the road and play tough road games and situations with teams that are healthy, who are good defensive teams and good coach teams, then it's going to be a little bit different of a ball game. And that's why I say that you have to be careful. You got to be careful, man. You know what I'm saying? We have to get better. But sometimes less is more. The offense that the Warriors run is not really, yeah, we had a lot of shots that we missed, a lot of opportunities, yeah. But sometimes you got to scale back on how fast you really want to play. Motion offense and all the different reads off of certain actions, that's fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, don't complicate things for some of your guys. Just allow them to be basketball players. Allow them to play basketball. If you got an open shot, shoot it. If you got an open driving lane, drive. If you got an open floater, take it. If they help, pass. Keep moving, screen away. Motion, movement, and IQ. What else do we need to do? Like, it's like all the different reads and all the different actions, yeah. But guess what? That's why we have hella turnovers, because you're trying to overcomplicate things when the game is super simple. You get to a spot and get a damn shot, period. It's not that hard. You just play angles really, really well. That's all it is just playing angles. So we got to be careful with certain things, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but we got to get better. And it starts in practice. It starts with those, and it starts with our rotations. You can't have 3 out of 4 people that can't give you any offense on the court at one time. You just can't do it. Trace Jackson Davis, Brandon Podziemski, Draymond Green on the court at one time together. You feel me? Like, come on. What are we doing? Trace Jackson Davis has to get better as a post player. You had a little guy on you and you passed the ball, you turned the ball over. You did a Rudy Gobert. You got a little guy on you. Man, barbecue chicken, man. You don't body his little ass and dunk on him. Come on, man. It's just like, I mean, where's our development at? Can we get any kind of player development going on? I don't see it. It seems like our player development is trash can, bro. Our big man can't. Why are we trying to turn everybody into Kevon Looney? Kevon Looney is Kevon Looney, but let's not act like Kevon Looney wasn't a capable scorer growing up. Kevon Looney was more than capable of going to get a bucket. Let's just be honest. And now they just want him to set screens, pass the ball, and rebound. No! You're 6'9", 6'10". Go be a threat on the court. And I'm glad that Kevon Looney is looking a little bit more for his offense, because we need that. We were missing that. Kevon Looney's 8 points and his 7 offensive rebounds, we missed that last night. So, we just got to be better, man. Those are my thoughts. Coaching matters, man. Coaching matters. If you think about it, if you look at last night, Ty Lue didn't do no coaching. That was all Jeff Van Gundy. The whole night, Jeff Van Gundy was standing up, giving, you know what I'm saying, barking orders at his teammates, at his players. The whole night. Real coaching, making adjustments in game, on the fly, during a timeout. Basketball, bro. That's basketball. So when you want to talk about, you know, these games and these sports, coaching matters. Can we stop acting like coaching doesn't matter? I'm dealing with a situation right now on my son's high school team. I was supposed to be the lead assistant on the damn team. They have a football coach, a track coach, and another coach who don't know what the hell they doing. I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? What a track coach gonna tell me about basketball? What a football coach gonna tell me about basketball? Where's your basketball minds at? They don't have any because I'm the damn basketball mind. They didn't want me to come over there. See, that's the politics of the game. You don't want nobody, they don't want real coaching. Because they know, I know how to get the job done. You feel me? You have to have an IQ level for it. You got to be sharp with this thing, man. Just saying. When I coached them, you know, on a temporary basis last year, we blowing teams out by 40. Because I don't play that let people do stuff. I don't play that let people be comfortable, you know what I'm saying, doing different things. No, we going to see if you really that good. That's the type of coaching that you need to have. Let's see if you're really that good. Oh, you're that good? Oh, let's see. I want to see it. Because I just don't be believing people be that good. I don't be believing it. I know people can say one thing, but this ain't the old school. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of players now, they just do a lot of different things, but they don't play hard. You feel me? Everything is about triple step backs and side steps and under the legs and spin moves and all these different moves. Let me see if you're really that good when somebody closing that airspace though. That part. Right. Exactly. So, yeah, man. Coaching makes it matters. Coaching matters. But, I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. We live in a society today where everything is straight up, fabricated, bro. Everything, it seems like it's an illusion. Everything is made up. Everything is made up, period. You feel me? We living in a society where all this shit is made up. It doesn't even make any sense, bro. So if anybody is out there in any position of leadership, you have to work on your anxiety level, because you can't be in a leadership position and have bad anxiety. You just can't do it. Period. If you are in any position of leadership, you have to be hands-on. You have to be a teacher, and you have to be a mentor. So make sure that you care. If you are in a position of leadership, make sure that you care. Make sure that you give 130, 150% effort. And this is practical things. This is real world. We're talking about the real world here. If you are in a position of leadership, your leadership should reflect on the success of the business, the company, the team, the organization. You're in a position to help make things better, to help make people better, to get better. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's your obligation, to teach, know about what the brand is, know about what your operational duties are, know about how all these things work in order to lead your team and company to a successful month, quarter, year. Because it's all about really getting better. It's about improving in every aspect. So That's what we need to do. We need to focus on the real teaching. You know what I'm saying? Accountability, availability, being dependable. It's like, come on, man, what are we talking about? So, yeah, culture matters, man. So salute to all my people, man. You feel me? I appreciate everybody that showed up. Make sure you hit them thumbs up. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, to the content, and share the content, because people really need to hear this stuff, bro. I'm giving you real perspective. Like, it's real talk. It's wisdom, to be honest with you. We got to start taking heed to certain things that's beneficial for us. Not all that garbage that's not beneficial for us, but motherfuckers just be on here that just be saying anything and just be talking. No, can we get back to, what's real? Like, you know what I'm saying? We live in a fake ass world. So can we get a little bit of purity? Can we get some realness, you know what I'm saying, in the building? I mean, you feel me? We got an obligation, bro. Stand on it. But salute to my people, man. I hope everybody have a blessed rest of the day and a blessed rest of the week. You feel me? And I catch up with y'all later, man. Love, live life, smile, cry, laugh. Culture matters.